South Carolina becomes the fourth state to pass right-to-race legislation. Supercross viewership keeps going up, and we've got major off-road events going on across the country. So let's get into this week's episode.
Fast Friday Off-Road Report.
What's going on, everyone? JT from Team FAS Motorsports. Hope everyone had an awesome Memorial Day weekend, got some riding in, made it home with all your machines in one piece. Now, welcome to the Fast Friday Off-Road Report, your weekly rundown of everything off-road news, products, events, and current promos. If you got a product or event you want featured in next week's show, drop it in the comments below. Now let's jump into this week's update. One of the new products this week comes from S&B Filters with a particle separator for the 2020 through 2025 Polaris Ranger XP1000. This system is designed to help keep dust and debris out of your intake, which is a huge upgrade for anyone riding in dusty conditions, group rides, or working the machine on the trails or job sites. It's a direct fit for the Ranger XP1000, and it should help extend air filter life and keep cleaner air going into your engine. Another new product this week comes from MBRP with their 5-inch slip-on exhaust for the Polaris Ranger 500 and 570 models. This exhaust is designed to give the Ranger a deeper sound while also improving airflow and overall performance. It's a simple bolt-on upgrade for riders looking to add a little more sound and style to their machine without doing a full exhaust. And lastly this week, S3 just released their new frame stiffener for the Can-Am Defender HD11. We talked about the front frame stiffener last week, and now they followed it up with the rear version. It's designed to add additional strength and reinforcement to the rear section of the chassis, especially for riders running larger tires, heavy loads, or putting the Defender through tougher trail and work conditions. Now let's hop on over to industry news. One piece of industry news this week comes out of South Carolina, which has now become the fourth state to enact the right-to-race legislation after Governor Henry McMaster signed House Bill 4706 into law. The law is aimed at helping protect existing racetracks from noise complaints and certain legal issues tied to nearby developments. But the key word here is existing. This is designed to help protect racetracks and motorsports facilities that are already operating, especially as new homes and developments move in around them. It's not a free pass to go build a brand new track anywhere, but it is a positive step keeping established race facilities open long-term and looking down the road into the future. Another piece of industry news this week is that NBC's coverage of Supercross and the SMX series continues seeing major viewership growth. According to the report, NBC says broadcasts are continuing to hit milestone numbers, which is obviously a good sign for the sport and for the power sports industry overall. More viewers mean more exposure for riders, teams, sponsors, manufacturers, and the industry as a whole. It's another sign that off-road and motorsports content continues to becoming more mainstream and reaching larger audiences every year and with every race. Now we'll run through some upcoming events. First up this week is the Burma Connector Day Pass weekend, happening May 30th and 31st at the Burma Trail System in St. Clair, Pennsylvania. Gates open at 7 a.m. with trail riding from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. So if you've been looking for a chance to get out on the Burma trails without a full membership, this is a good weekend to try it. And then coming up June 6th and 7th is the Tar Hollow 2006 Spring ATV Ride in Hancock, New York. Camping check-in starts Friday at 4 p.m. and ride check-in starts Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. The Team FAS Motorsports crew will be there on June 6th, so if you see us out riding or around camp, definitely come say hello. If you catch us on the trails, make sure to grab some free Team FAS Motorsports stickers from us. It should be a really good weekend with a lot of machines and a lot of great riding. And another major event coming up June 18th through the 21st is Spring Jamz 2026 at Lake of the Ozarks Off-Road in Versailles, Missouri. This one sounds like it's going to be an absolute massive race and event with spectators, fans, racers coming from all over the country. They already have more than 70 rock bouncers and side-by-side racers signed up from at least 17 different states. There's over $15,000 in cash payouts on the line throughout the weekend. There's also going to be a huge vendor presence, food trucks, and nonstop action all weekend long. The weekend will feature multiple events, including brutal hill climbs, side-by-side knockout competition, rock bouncer action, kids events, and plenty of nonstop off-road entertainment throughout the entire weekend. So if you're looking for one of the bigger off-road gatherings happening in the Midwest this summer, this is definitely one you should check out. Also coming June 27th and 8th is Mayhem at the Mountain UTV Series Round 2 at Burnt Ridge Motocross Park in Onalaska, Washington. This one is presented by Core Powersports, and it's going to be taking place at 468 Johnson Road. If you're out in the Pacific Northwest and into UTV action, this is definitely one to have on your calendar. Now let's check out some sales and promos. We still have a few Memorial Day sales running through the end of the month. Factory UTV is 20% off. Rival Powersports is 10% off. MTS Off-Road is 15% off. All of those are going through the 31st. So if you're looking at skid plates, A-arm guards, racks, any of your suspension spring kits, limit straps, anything like that, as well as tire carriers for factory UTV, doors from Rival, any of that kind of stuff. Now is a really good time to grab those. Probably not going to see another sale until 4th of July weekend, and I'm just going off of speculation on what brands are running what, but I would assume that's the next time you'll see some of the major players run some sales. You can always shop online at teamfasmotorsports.com or message us if you need help finding the right part for your machine. Over to viewer question and answer. This week's question is, what's one of the best upgrades to do before a summer ride? We've gone through some of this in past episodes as far as your spring prep, and that's just kind of normal stuff. This is going to be very similar. When you start chasing the flashy stuff and all that kind of things, you're going to break down, and lighted whips and rock lights, that stuff's not going to get you off the trail. So before you go out for your ride, check your belt, your air filter, your fluids, tires, brakes, wheel bearings, any of your bushings. Make sure all of that stuff is nice and tight, doesn't need any maintenance. Obviously, if you're on sport quads or dirt bikes, stuff like that, make sure your chain is good, your sprockets. You want to check your clutch cable, make sure there's no fraying of the wires, any of that kind of stuff. Those are all going to make a huge difference when you're out on the trail and keeping you out on the trail. That's just basic maintenance. After that, I would go on to comfort and protection mods, skid plates, your windshields for sure. Absolutely, harnesses, should be one of the first things as well. Do all those kind of things. Then once you're done with those kind of mods, then you would go on to some of the flashier stuff. Your lighted whips, your light bars, pillar lights, any sort of interior upgrades, stereo stuff, obviously, and your underglow or your rock lights, however you want to set up your machine and what you guys are doing. But that kind of stuff to me is always last, except in one situation that we ride, which is out in the sand dunes. Lighted whips could be a lifesaver, especially at night coming back to camp on some of the dunes. Other than that, I would say for just trail riding and stuff like that, that kind of stuff I would do last, and keep it to all the maintenance stuff that's going to keep you on the trail for a couple of rides or maybe a whole season. Make sure all your stuff's tight before you get out there. That's going to wrap up episode 11 of the Fast Friday Off-Road Report. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit subscribe, drop a comment below, share this with all your riding buddies, and remember, if you have an off-road event, product release, or any industry news you want featured in next week's episode, send it over to us on Facebook Messenger, drop a comment below, or email us at teamfas@hotmail.com. Thanks again for watching, ride safe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Fast Friday Off-Road Report. Fast Friday Off-Road Report.